The T20 World Cup 2024 win was spectacular because for a culmination of close to a decade, it was a lost decade of opportunities for Team India. When the 2023 ODI World Cup final was finished, at that time we felt India is probably not destined to win something else. But on June 29th, everything changed. Now Paras Mhambrey, the bowling coach who's now on his way out, he has given an exclusive interview to Times of India. He's outlined the process. Now, how did the planning, the process for the 2024 T20 World Cup success begin? A little bit of chance, but the process was in place a couple of years before that. Now, what was the process? Paras Mhambrey stated, rewarding to see that the process that we started has seen players come through the ranks, go on to play for India and eventually share the dressing room when they were lifting the trophy. As they had said, right from the emerging talent pool in the India A and under-19 setup till the senior setup, plus a mixture of the IPL, it all ensured that this pool of players could easily merge in and ensure you got the World Cup title. Yes, the disappointment of the 2023 ODI World Cup will linger, but that has kind of been bandaged over by the T20 World Cup win on June 29th. The main success, the foundation of it was the under-19 and A programs. Because whatever was that, Paras Mhambrey stated thriving A and under-19 programs were instrumental in making sure the players never felt out of place when they toured with the senior team. Results were not the focus. Now, we always wondered, right, with this talent pool, how can India's players fit in? There are so many players, but too few spots. Paras Mhambrey outlined that, look, it's not necessary that everyone gets the same number of game time. You work well in under-19, you work in the A tours. Yes, post-COVID, there has been a reduction in the number of A tours for India. But still, prior to that, there was a robust system and it ensured senior players, junior players, there was no distinction whatsoever. Which is why the younger players could get assimilated into the team very nicely. But what is the biggest achievement? The biggest achievement that Paras Mhambrey believes before the 2024 T20 World Cup success was 4 words, 4 letters rather, data. You have to understand the role that data plays in this current era of sport, be it Olympics, be it cricket, be it everything. In fact, cricket is more data driven than it was ever before. This data has given them a structure, a framework by which to work, and that's what Paras Mhambrey stated. Biggest achievement has been assimilation of data. When we started, this was around 2015-16, there was no data at under-19 and India A level. So that is why you had no idea as to whether players were managed well, workload management, injury management. They had to run state to state to ensure that you got the data. The compilation of all of this plus the advancement in technology meant when you have data with you, it's easier for planning and workload management. That is now starting to bear fruit after 8 years, after 8 to 9 years. The fast bowling talent pool. Now, Paras Mhambrey will be credited for discovering a talent pool which was exhaustible. I mean, if you look at it, 2021, the Gaba win. Look at the talent pool. There was Siraj, there was Shardul, there was T. Natarajan also who ensured that, yes, they made up for the likes of Shami's absence, Bumrah's absence. How did India develop the talent pool of fast bowlers? We started in 2015 and we had that pool by 5 years in 2020. A young pace bowler takes 4 to 5 years to hit his peak. You can't simply rush them through. What was the problem pre-2015? Any bowler, which is what we are almost doing with Mayank Yadav. Oh, good IPL, rush him through. No. At least a minimum of 3 to 4 years. Shardul Thakur has undergone a lot of rigor in the domestic circuit. T. Natarajan's also undergone a lot of rigor in the domestic circuit. Siraj also, which is why you can't rush in a pace bowler. And that is why through injuries, through bad luck and all of that, they have overcome that, and that's why they have got a fast bowling talent pool. Which is why this period that Paras Mhambrey oversaw is probably the golden age when you look at Indian fast bowling. But now he highlights a small problem in this current generation. how do you get them to play a lot of test cricket, first class cricket? Because he says, bit tough with current generation who have grown up seeing IPL. When Rahul and I worked with junior teams, we talked a lot about the history of the game and made them understand that only 314 players have managed to play test cricket for India. It is such an elite format. So this is why the current lot of players who are coming now will have to understand that test cricket is even more important. India is an exception to the norm along with Australia and England to a certain extent. They place test cricket at a high pedestal. But for the first class cricket system to thrive, they have to ensure that it carries on. But the biggest challenge for Paras Mhambrey was building relationships. Now, prior to them joining in 2015, it took time to build a relationship with senior players. You can't be dealing in the same way with the likes of Shami, Ashwin, Virat or Rohit as you did with players in the BCCI program. Several programs, youngsters come through, you have to deal with them in a separate way. Virat, Rohit, Shami, it's a different kettle of fish altogether. You have to deal with them in a very different way. So through relationship building, data assimilation, talent pool of fast bowlers that were all ready for the big stage, and a seamless, without hassle-free, under 19 to senior level transition, they all combined to ensure that India's seeds were laid for this foundation of the T20 World Cup win. And it also culminated in the glory of June 29th. Thank you so much folks for joining us for this video. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis.